Hey guys, what's going on? It's your favorite cringing causing appliance Microwave, and I wanted to do a remake of my top 8 things that Siege needs video because you, the viewer, pointed out a few more changes that I somehow missed. You also pointed out that my new style of video wasn't really to your liking. I did see the like and dislike ratio, and while it wasn't bad, it was a tad higher than normal. And my job is to keep you guys entertained, so I want to do just that. So without further ado, let's get into the top 10 things in order that I believe that Siege needs to be successful in year 2019. I guess you can call it my 2019 wish list for the game. Intro! We're not doing any more cringy intros.
Number 10. Better in-game menu UI.
Currently, our menu system in the game is a little bit flawed and can use some rework. As you're picking your gadgets or weapon attachment, there's a slight delay when you choose them. This can cause you not to be able to pick the things that you want before the round starts. Here's a small mock-up of what I'd like to see. As soon as you click on the loadout, it would show all the available options instead of showing each one separately. Now here in this menu, you can actually see everything. I found myself forgetting to change some of my gadgets, and the delay in the menu has actually caused me to have things equipped which I didn't want in that round. For instance, I had a shield equipped when I needed barbed wire instead. This could really cause some annoyances and could be a big thing in strategies. I know I'm not the only one that's actually had that problem.
Number 9. In-game shooting range.
Now before playing ranked, I like to do about 30 minutes of terrace hunt so I can get all warmed up. But a lot of the times it isn't sufficient enough because the bots just walk around at standing height. So having an in-game shooting range with targets that pop up randomly would help significantly. Ubisoft can add all sorts of things that could help test sights and recoil. I really believe that there needs to be a place where you could test quick peeking, flicks, and recoil patterns, and I believe it's essential in an esports AAA shooter.
Number 8. Colorblind Mode.
Rainbow Six Siege has been out for 4 years, and they have yet to implement a mode which allows colorblind players to play without being hindered. Many other shooter games have released this accessibility mode with the initial launch of the game. Some sites such as the ACOG, Hollow, and Red Dots are difficult to see to some because of the color. I'd also like the ability to change the color of the reticles in game. Let me know if you like that idea.
Number 7. Theater Mode.
Currently, Rainbow Six Siege has no way of watching a previous game or round unless it's saved by a player via recording. There are other games such as Halo, Dota 2, and Call of Duty who have actually implemented a mode in which you can automatically save X amount of games. You could then save them to your hard drive and keep them for later. It will show everybody's perspective during that game and what happened in it. So it's a really nice feature, especially for players looking to improve the way they play. For instance, I find myself watching a lot of pro players and examine how they approach a firefight. I would really enjoy watching how some of the players beat me or those who I am partied with. Plus, I can make some pretty cool videos with this feature.
Number 6. Rank system overhaul and in-game leaderboard.
The rank system in Rainbow Six Siege can be fixed in a way that it's easy to rank up if you surround yourself with lower ranked players. When you bring in coppers, bronze, or silvers into a party while you are platinum, it'll match you against the lower end of the ranks. I believe it should be flipped around though. If you're a diamond or a high plat playing with friends that are lower rank, you should get matched up with diamonds and higher plats. This will benefit most everybody involved. Your friends will get better over time because they're facing better players, and it also becomes an adapt or die situation. Many times I find myself actually getting worse when I play with bad people, but when I queue with pro players or play against them, I learn things and become better. The rank system is also broken in the sense that it's difficult to climb ranks because personally on average it takes me 3 to 4 wins to make up 1 loss. This, in my opinion, shouldn't be the case. A 1 for 1 or a 1 for 2 is a better case scenario. Maybe perhaps raise the elo requirements for ranks to compensate for this. I'm not quite sure, but I find that the current system is flawed and easily abused by some. Now, I mentioned earlier about an in-game leaderboard, and I feel that having a top 100 per region would give an incentive for good players to try harder. I'd also love an in-game charm showing how high that player accomplished in that season.
Number 5. Sandbox Mode.
Have you ever wanted to test out maps or Valkyrie cam spots without having to reload a custom game? Well, a Sandbox Mode in-game would help significantly with that. Some other AAA games have it to where you can spawn into a map and do whatever you want. I mean, could you imagine being able to have infinite Valkyrie cameras, Ash launchers, or C4s? There's a ton of benefits that you could do with this. You could practice tossing cams, C4s, grenades, and other things in the game without having to fetch them later on. Ever wanted to find a new insane angle on a map? Well, you could completely destroy the map with a sledge or buck and find them. This would also help competitive players find different strategies as well. With the game as destructible as Siege, it's almost needed at this point.
Number 4. Match invalidation and hardware bans for cheaters.
Match invalidation is a system that removes all elo gained or lost in a ranked game if a player from that game has been banned by BattleEye or Fair Fight. So let's say you face a cheater and you lose 100 elo, and the next week his name pops up as a cheater and has been permanently banned from the game. Then you would gain all that elo back and the loss would be wiped off your stats completely. And on the reverse side, if you took the easy win, then that elo would be taken away, and if you got diamond with it, then it would be wiped from your record until you got it legitimately. This would help curb boosting a ton and make it less appealing to those who are getting paid to boost. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but if you get banned for 15 days for being boosted by a cheater, you don't actually lose your rank. That has to change. I honestly can't believe that that's a thing. Now, to add another layer of protection against cheaters in the game, the anti-cheats need to slap on a hardware ban to make cheaters purchase new parts if they want to continue on the destructive path. Essentially, it bans their graphics card from being able to play in the game on their account. Now, I don't know about y'all's bank account, but I totally would not want to buy another graphics card if I got banned.
Number 3. Pro League maps and pick and ban in ranked.
Has your map rotation ever consisted of Skyscraper, Cafe, Hereford Base, Meme Park, and then it rinses and repeats the cycle? Well, it totally has for me, and it honestly feels that non-competitive maps are pushed onto us way more than competitive maps. I'd love to have only Pro League approved maps into the rank pool, along with the pick and ban system to add another fun feature into the game. It would make the games way more interesting and increase the skill gap in ranked. Now, I don't mind all the maps in casual though, I just want to go ahead and clarify that. It's just ranked that I have a problem with because that's where most people employ 5-man strategies, and obviously your personal rank is affected by that.
Number 2. Casual spawn and objective location as well as reduction of casual round timers.
Now my number 2 and 3 picks were super close, but I know that there's more players that enjoy casual, so it's higher up on my list. A ton of players queue up in casual daily, and many have voiced their opinions about wanting to be able to pick spawn and objective sites. I'm honestly not sure why this isn't allowed in the game. Perhaps it's because the new players don't get so overwhelmed whenever they join the game. I don't know, but it really needs to change because it's a core part of Siege. Also, rank timers were 4 minutes, but they were changed 2 years ago to 3 minutes, and the casual timer needs to follow suit. The average time per round is shown here, released by the official Twitter account for the game, so there's no reason that it should be longer than 3 minutes. Now, in my last video, it was pointed out by you in the comments that you need to be clearance level 20 to enter ranked. I think that this should be raised to 50, and anyone under that level should be placed together, that way they can play with the 4-minute timer. So that way everybody can learn the game at a lengthier pace. But once you have the ability to pop into ranked, you should be playing at what the rank timer is set to. Now, before I reveal my number 1 pick, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all my videos.
Number 1. Team kill punish and pardon system.
This to me is the number 1 thing that needs to be added into the game. Now, Siege is a difficult game to learn, especially when you add the mix of random players into it. Toxicity with team killing in the game has become a major issue. Top streamers have tried Siege and ended up uninstalling due to players immediately team killing it because they think it's funny.
My personal opinion with the game, okay, after 2 days, I feel like it is generally impossible for a streamer to do solo queue games and have fun for a reliable amount of time. But in this game, it sucks that somebody can literally just grasp this game on his own and be like, this game, you're not having fun because of me. Goodbye. And he can ruin your entire game on his own and get away with it the entire game. And it sucks because you're stuck in a game for like 30 minutes that not at any given point you're gonna have good content for gameplay. And for gameplay streamers, that sucks. For me, it's like, yeah, I'll like talk to chat, interact, whatever, dude. But for others, it's impossible. I think I'm gonna be very careful with this game. I don't think we're gonna play that tomorrow, the day after. I don't think we're gonna play that like this week, next week. I think we're gonna let that game sort of die in our pool of games.
This is just one of many big streamers who have tried Rainbow Six Siege and quit because of the toxicity amongst our community. Now, you may not believe it, but streamers and YouTubers can bring in players if they showcase it being fun, which in turn brings more players to the game and increases the longevity of the title. So this is the type of stuff that's happening to not only them, but to you and everyday players, and it showcases that there is a problem within the game, and there has yet to be a fix for it. Many videos such as The Dark Side of the Siege Community by YouTuber JagerHimself highlights such encounters. I'd like to know some of your stories about toxicity in the game, so write them in the comments below because I'm sure you have some good ones. It's becoming a growing problem and it needs to be addressed as soon as possible. Ubisoft is trying to curb toxicity via communication, such as banning players that use racist words, but nothing is being done on what really matters, and that's actions in the game. You can mute players' communications, but you can't mute their actions. If a 4-stack queues and takes turn killing you in a ranked game, there's absolutely nothing you could do but watch, which is a huge problem. The game needs a punish or pardon system if you get team team killed. If the team kill was an accident, then you can pardon them, and if it was malicious, then you can mark them for ban, or if enough players vote for it, you can remove them from the match altogether. Now, if that system isn't to your liking, perhaps there's another way around it. You can make it to where at the start of every single round, you can have a bullet reflection that lasts for the first 25 seconds. If a teammate tries to shoot you, all that damage gets reflected back to him instead. I think this will help the game grow significantly because it allows new players to enjoy the game. And alright everybody, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I listened to the feedback of my last video, so I hope this one is more to your liking. I hope to see you guys in my next video where I queue against a cheater and the enemy actually team kills him so we can win. And I get my diamond back that game. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.